program. Viewer discretion is advised.
In the house today, Walter Tomascu. Happy birthday, brother. Gun Bunny and Shockwave. Jill Powers, the River Daughter. Psycho Dwarf 9. He's the mad doctor of Valhalla, the wrench of wrenches, Chris Persia. Muppet Snow's movie reviews. It's time to wake a neighbor's voice with Southern Viking. Greetings programs from Daryl the Derelict. Auto Jumper. Roll Tide, Keely Chow, Roll Tide, brother. Project Cambridge. Zeropium. It's hump day with Tyrannus Cygnus. The Cotton is here from Cotton Ministries. The immortal Ghost Rider. The lovely Leia Rose. We got my Muppet from another puppet show back. TJC, good morning, brother. How are you doing? Good morning. Still saying good morning to everybody. What is up? So many of you here. Thank you all so very much for coming and hanging out with me and Sno Dub this morning. The lady, Arwen Avalon, says, hey, y'all. Good morning. Has anybody seen my gummies? Good morning, Arwen. Deliciously Evil, Mary's Game Room says, finally, it is back again. That is how I like to get up. What is up? Good morning, Mary. Wop. Good morning, brother. How are you doing? What is up? It is so good to see you all. Uranium Penetrator. Morning, y'all. Morning, Uranium Penetrator. What is up? All right, who else we got? Who else we got? We got in the house. I'm scrolling. I'm trying to... Sci-Fi Mombi. What's up, brother? There's that guy again. There's that guy. Does anybody know where he came from? What is up, brother? Zeropium. Good morning. He's going to be hanging out with y'all tomorrow and Friday. So he's going to be filling in for Loki as Loki is halfway across Texas. That should be interesting. And holy shit, the man, the myth, the legend, the man of the hour. What is up, brother? How are you doing? So very good to see you, and yeah.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, we can hear you.
Mic check 1 2. Yep.
Yep.
All
Mic
right.
check 1 2.
That's actually the beginning of one of my songs. It's called "Fuck a Mumble Rap."
Mm-hmm. Who the hell is Zeropium?
He's that guy that kicks the hell out of us every Saturday night on Mario Kart.
What is up, dude? Okay, so before we get into a whole...
Oh, wait. I got to say hi to my stream-ending sister in the chat. Arwen's here.
There may or may not have been a group chat created for people that end live streams prematurely.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's my main stream ending sister in the house. What up, y'all?
What up, y'all? Grim, what's up, Grim? Good to see you, brother. It is good to see you. What is
And
up?
I see a few subscribers from my channel have mingled their way over here. So good to see you guys. Much love.
We end streams.
Yes, we do. With the quickness.
Good morning, Blood Guilty Gaming. Good morning. I've got to ask you this before we get into any politics, anything you're doing with your channel, anything that's going on, anything that happened. I don't think I've ever talked about this publicly.
Okay.
It's one of those things. So, growing up, my mother, who was a very strange mother to grow up with, introduced me to a couple of things: Godzilla. Cool. And Jim Henson. She absolutely loved Jim Henson. So I grew up watching stuff like The Bunny Picnic. Oh, bark, bark, bark. And that little bunny is actually in the Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
So that's the little bunny that's standing outside, like shaking.
Goes and gets the turkey at the end. Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's this whole thing. Dark Crystal is one of my favorites. It's the first movie I bought when I got Blu-ray. It's the first movie I bought when I got a 4K player, when I got a game system that could play a 4K disc. Why? Because I absolutely love those movies. There's something comforting about them, something you watch when you're sick or when you just want to laugh or when you just want to relax. You just want to forget your troubles for the day. So there's this huge Jim Henson library, including Farscape. People don't realize a lot of the stuff that was in Farscape, like Rigel, the entire character of Rigel, was created by the Jim Henson Creature Creation Shop.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, I mean, I grew up with all this Muppets and Fraggle Rock and all this shit. And I think it had a good effect on me. And when I got older, I held on to that. How did that happen for you?
The Muppet thing?
Yeah, well, Jim Henson thing, period, any of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, that goes right back to basically the days that I can barely remember. We're talking early 80s, and I was maybe, let's see, well, I was born in 78, so by the time I can remember watching The Muppet Show, it was already on repeats at that point. Like, it wasn't the brand new seasons, right? Because all the seasons, I think the last season of Muppet Show was like 81. So I was watching the repeats, but it was primetime TV still. Like, they played an episode, I believe, every weekday night at like 6-7 o'clock or whatever it was. So I can literally remember like dancing on my couch in my underoos with a ukulele, bouncing up and down, just all excited for the Muppet Show. And then another show came out, which was also produced by Jim Henson, called Muppet Babies, and that was like one of my favorite cartoons growing up. And then, and the Muppet movies too, I loved all of them. And then Labyrinth came out, and a few things happened with Labyrinth with me, Loki. One, it quickly became my favorite movie at the time, and one of the first VHS movies I ever owned. Two, I realized I was a heterosexual male, thanks to Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So
I think a lot of guys found out that exact same way.
yes, and to this day, I still crush on Jennifer for sure. She's still beautiful. So those were my first tastes of Jim Henson, and then I had a cousin I remember growing up that would put on puppet shows for us because she would always have to babysit us, me and my other cousins. She was older by a couple of years, and she was really funny. She was one of the funniest, grandkids out of all of us, and I looked up to her just because of how funny she was and witty. She was very witty, and So she was kind of like an idol to me, and I remember her putting on these puppet shows. I just loved them, so I naturally kind of wanted to do it too. On top of the fact that I was, a huge Jim Henson fan at the time, and um, the rest is history. It wasn't shortly thereafter I, purchased Jolly. I bought Jolly from Disneyland back in 1990, 89 or 90, I think it was. He is made in the USA, back when they used to sell just USA products at Disneyland, believe it or not. And I bought him at a store right next to the Pirates of the Caribbean. Jolly was originally a pirate. He had a eye patch, and
that makes sense. That tracks.
yeah, he had a what was it, pirate's hat. He's since been upgraded since those days, but it's hard. A lot of people don't understand that Jolly's a 30-plus-year-old puppet.
Oh yeah. He's got his mileage on him. But I wouldn't expect anything less with what you do on your show.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's the most comfortable puppet for me because I've had him for so long, and he's just easy to maneuver. And he just instantly became the host of the show, or host of the channel, I should say. And then as time has progressed, I've added more puppets along the way. Now my oldest puppet is El Perro. I've had him since I was, 6 maybe. And I can remember when I got him, my mom took me to a Goodwill store. I found him on a rack for $1, and I just begged her to buy him for me.
Oh, I can see that. I can see him sitting there going, "Oh,
yeah,
take me home. I will teach you all the bad things you can do. I will teach you that communism is good."
El Perro for $1, yeah, and so
down with consumerism.
Who would know that dollar puppet would be a famous villain?
Do you have any piggies at home?
Right. He wasn't licking Miss Piggy yet, but I was definitely coming into my own as a puppeteer at that point. So I've definitely been a puppeteer since I was a child, and it's definitely been a talent. So this was a great way to exploit it, and to use it to my advantage, so to speak.
So speaking of El Perro de Robert and Miss Piggy, tell us about what happened the other day when you were doing a stream.
God.
And suddenly your YouTube connection was cut.
Mm-hmm.
Similar to something that happened over my way, middle of this year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That absolutely blew.
Right.
What happened?
Well, I got to give you a little bit of context. So prior to that night, there was a Tuesday night show, Taco Tuesday, where me and author Stephen Walton came on, and we went ham on this guy, this liberal channel that decided to pick me and try to exploit me on his channel and talk a bunch of shit. And so in return, I returned the favor. And I know a few people from my channel, subscribers, whatever, went over and harassed him a little bit in his chats. Not flagged him, just, threw a few comments at him.
Yeah. There is right. Shit talking back and forth.
Sure. That's fine. I don't care. But it's when you go and try to take channels down is when I think, you're just being malicious. But either way, I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people came at me that week because of that from his side of the spectrum. And so I think there was a lot of flags, whatever, reports on my channel at the time. Granted, YouTube won't do anything unless they see something that needs to be done, but they'll keep a skeptic eye on you. And so, that Friday night we did a show per usual, nothing out of the ordinary. Played the same stupid clips I've played 1,000 times at this point, and boom, got a strike. And
okay, hold on. Before we go any further than that, what and you didn't know this at the time, but you know it now. What exact thing was pointed to for the reason that you got it? Tell everybody what exact thing was pointed to when you got it, and how long has that clip existed?
Okay, so originally we thought it was because I got struck for nudity and sexual content. So originally I thought it was this motorboat scene with Jolly where he kind of dives in on some big boobies. And I was like, is that what they got me for? And well,
Motorboating. That's what we discussed Friday was
right.
the motorboat thing. And that
Till
you
I
thought
started,
that was it.
yeah, until I started looking it up on YouTube and it's everywhere. And so I'm like, well, that couldn't have been it. Well, I appealed it, right? And once I got it back, they, lifted the strike. And then I was able to look exactly at the moment of when they hit it because they took the stream down and they brought it back up finally. So I looked exactly at the moment. And the exact moment of when they hit it for sexual harassment is when El Perro licks Miss Piggy. And this clip has been being played on my channel for years, people. Like, I would say easily 4 years at this point. That stupid
So you're
clip has been
talking
played.
about I've got a surprise for you,
Mhm.
Kermit. No pet dog.
Mhm.
And it tasted like a bacon sandwich.
Sexual harassment by El Perro on Miss Piggy. Yes. Slurp and turn, as Shum would say. Got me.
And you played that for 4 years.
Everybody loves that clip. Like
Of course.
yeah, if I don't play it, I get yelled at. Like Papa will throw a fit. I mean, there's so many people that love that stupid clip. If I do not play that every live stream, I'll catch hell.
Oh yeah, you got a lot of people sounding off. That's my favorite clip. Oh,
Yep.
Perro got busted for bacon. A lot of people love that clip. I mean,
And
it's like
it's from an old Ribbit and Bigot show, like one of the very first live shows I did. So it's been around forever.
so you get how did you get let's go over this from you get the warning or you get the strike
Hmm.
and they take the stream down and they obviously they hide it. You can't even go back and look and see what the hell
Right.
they're talking
Yeah,
about.
they
You
just
kind
take
of
it
got to
from you.
guess
Yeah.
because for whatever reason, even though it's still there and YouTube can see it, they don't want you to see it because they don't want you to climb into it and go, okay, well, how can it be this if I do this, and this, and
Right.
it's the weird way of not showing you what you're guilty of. Everybody who's worked on YouTube has experienced this at least once.
Oh yeah.
Unless
Absolutely retarded.
they're actually defined, which they did for me, which I found funny, was they told me exactly why they took mine down. Mine was a live stream that something got shown in it, and it wasn't anybody's fault because we'd done it before. And nobody ever had a problem with it.
Oh,
This
sure.
is why you have to adapt when they change stuff. And the only reason why they gave me a warning, they turned it from a strike into a warning, was they had not changed policy yet. So this was something that they were planning on doing in like the next week, but all the protections were already there. So they hadn't decided that no, you can't do this yet, but they were on the verge of it, and I got hit anyway. So they gave me a warning and said, "Don't do it again." Bad Loki, and I said, "No problem." Dave Bob's like, "I did that." No, you didn't. It's them. It's not you, because we've done that before and there's never been a problem. So,
well, yeah. In Dave Bob's defense, there's been multiple channels that covered different pistols, guns, stuff like that have left YouTube and had to go to Rumble and stuff because of those new rules, which is sad because a lot of those channels really built a hell of an audience.
so what's the first thing you did besides tell us? Because I know I asked for like right away. I was like, "What the hell's going on? You remember what's the bullshit?" You thought
Well,
it was the motorboat.
Well, we were heading right into your Friday night show, so yeah, it was definitely fresh on my mind. But yeah, I peeled it, and I was thinking the worst, that I was going to have to miss my Saturday night show, and God knows how many days before they got back to me. And luckily enough, once I did the Twitter thing, and I've heard this from multiple channels, YouTube tends to respond better when you hit them on Twitter for some reason. And so I did. I hit them on Twitter.
That's how I did it too. By the way.
And I hadn't even gotten a chance for so I got some big channels that follow me, and I didn't get a chance to get like the big channels tweeting it, retweeting it, and stuff. In fact, Drunk 3PO even said, "I was about to retweet your tweet, and then I seen that your strike was already down, so I guess I didn't need to." And I was like, "Yeah, it's all good." But yeah, they got back to me right away. Took it down that night. I think it was down by the time our show was over, the late show, and we were right back to normal the next night. And just keep on plowing ahead, man. Haters are gonna hate. Just gotta accept that when you do this type of thing. Not everybody's gonna agree with you, but if you got a good foundation, good fan base, good group of friends, like Valhalla and the Cotton Connection backs you up, you can fight through just about anything.
Palmy's Minion, good morning. It is so good to see you. So by the time our show's over that night, you've gotten the message saying it's been lifted. Did you have to turn in anything? Did you have to supply them with anything? Or did you just go, hey, you need to look at this. I didn't do anything wrong. I mean, 4 years of the same clip. 4 years of the same clip, and they never had a problem with it. Now, this could be due to YouTube never paid attention.
Right.
It sometimes happens. This could be due to a rule change. Something might have changed in the algorithm. They've got a new protection thing going into place, and they thought, the AI thought, because that's who's looking at this, handing out demerits to everybody. That's the computer going, John Spot, you will find 1 hop credit for violating the statute. That's what it is. So it wasn't anything you did. It was them, something, either someone trying to be like, he's a bad person because he owned us libs.
Yeah.
And that's what this comes down to. Is
more than likely that's what it was.
Before the election and after, you started doing certain coverage, certain more right-sided coverage, and some people told you not to. Some people said stay out of it. Some people encouraged you.
Right.
And now you've done 37 meltdown.
30. We just uploaded 34 last night.
34.
Yeah. And the thing with that is I've always covered, or at least dabbled in that stuff. Some of my biggest live streams I've ever done was election coverage, where I've had literally hundreds of people just randomly show up thanks to the algorithm. And 2 big surges I've had on the channel were thanks to the 2020 election, thanks to the 2022 election, and covering not only Trump and stuff, but also local election stuff like Kerry Lake here in Arizona. So I've always dabbled in it. I've just never kind of went all in, and because I like to dabble with movie stuff too. That's what I originally made the channel for, was to cover more movie stuff.
Movies and TV and stay out of politics. And just have fun, and then they
push back against the woke. So I don't know if I'd say completely out of politics, but definitely I didn't like what they were doing to my entertainment. I was part of the original Phantom Menace crew that was fighting back against that stuff. If you know your lore.
High council back in
the day. I was right there with you, right there in the chats.
Oh yeah, you were.
So yeah, I'm an OG from those days, but I finally realized that there's just too many channels covering the same thing, and they're all in my friend circle and stuff. And nothing against those channels, more power to you, good luck to you. But when Trump won this last election, I knew I had an opportunity to take advantage of, and I did. And so that's why you're seeing the channel growth I'm getting now. You're seeing, my videos doing well. That's because right place, right time. I'm good at roasting people. I've always been good at that. So I just kind of played to my strengths, and here we go. So I'm going to ride it out through the inauguration, see how that goes. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot more meltdowns when that comes around, and then probably filter back out of it a little bit, as things calm down a bit and get back to entertainment a little more. But this is awesome. I mean, I'm enjoying seeing the surge and subscribers and all these awesome new people in my chats and the support, and it's just a humbling experience for sure.
You haven't been shy about talking about how you feel about things and showing all this, and talking about the absurdity in a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think they're melting down now, just wait.
Mm.
Oh, there's more coming. Um, what really pushed you to go the distance here? Snow closing in on 7K. I told him before the year, you're going to leaving me in the dust, and you're going to be like, bye, Loki. Bye.
Well, it's not about passing,
No,
especially,
I
especially
know.
my friends. Yeah.
I know. I'm teasing you.
There is a couple YouTubers that I've been eyeballing. I ain't gonna lie. I wouldn't mind passing. But yeah, I mean, sub count's sub count. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter. What matters is who shows up, who supports, who's got your back. I've always said that. Yeah, having an extra, more subs is great, but the Cotton Connection's where it's at. In Valhalla, you got this core group of people that show up for every live stream, show support, throw you super chats, throw you memberships. Those are the people that keep you going. And that's just a handful, to be honest, a couple hundred, maybe, if that. That's where it's at, guys. You get a good group of peeps that really want to see you grow and do your thing. That can be all you need to kind of keep yourself going, except for this guy.
Okay, so explain this guy right here.
This guy is only happy when he sees Mexican Iron Man getting belittled by a certain stupid little flea bag dog that he loves so damn much. I never realized how much Shum disliked Mexican Iron Man for him to be such a big fan of El Perro, but now he has become literally my channel's nemesis. He's Team El Perro, and he says crap like this in my chat every time.
Dean Krantz is one of the few times I go on streams with Loki and that damn liberal puppet comes in and ends the stream.
That was my garage.
Well, we will have another member stream towards the end of the month. Yeah, Mike, where did you come up with these characters? How did you come up with these characters? I mean, it's not just like, hey, y'all, I'm this puppet, and oh, I'm over here, and I'm this. No, it's like, I'm El Perro, and I would eat you and your dog for breakfast. And you've got Jolly, who's just like, I'm gonna be at down titty twister with a roll of nickels. And you've got Mr. Cool. Look, my balls showing. And you've got, dude, you've got all these different characters and personalities. How the hell did that happen?
I tip my hat to like Frank Oz and Jim Henson. Those guys did multiple characters. Jim Henson did. Not only did he do Kermit, but he did Ralph. He did one of the old guys up the balcony. I think it was Waldorf. Who else did he do? God, I'm having a brain freeze. It's early, so I don't think very well. He's done a lot of the Muppets. So is Frank Oz. Frank Oz did Miss Piggy, Animal. There's more too. They've done a bunch.
Olds Gamer, thank you, brother. Olds Gamer has gifted a Loki's Mornings of Mischief membership, and that membership has gone to Hanging with Erica and Wrath, who just became sponsors. Thank you so very much. Olds Gamer, who has been burning it down all December long. He has been keeping the fire burning bright here in Valhalla. Thank you so very much, my friend. You have kept you have kept the lights on literally this month.
Hell yeah.
So thank you. Brain the Anime Guy real quick with 18-month member chat. Skull and Tuck and Roll. Unsubscribe. Laugh at the melties. Maga. Come on.
Hashtag. Well, that's the other thing we've been doing is hashtag MMGA, which is Make Muppets Great Again. Yeah. But and Sesame Street characters too. So Bert and Ernie were both originally done by Jim Henson, Frank Oz. So Yoda is done by Frank Oz. So you could see just from those characters I've mentioned, they're all quite different in their own way. And that's how it is when you're an entertainer, puppeteer, comedian. I got a little bit of everything. So I just use what skills I have to kind of incorporate it into I've always been kind of a funny guy. I've always been kind of a smart ass. I was one of the class clowns that made everybody laugh in school, Um, I was always on the artistic side. I did a lot of drawing. I made comic books, I even wrote short stories. So I think it was all just kind of there naturally. And each character has evolved on its own. Don't get me wrong. Like, I mean, I knew Mike Roach was going to be my gay character right away, because when I got him as a gift, I pulled him out and I'm like, what is this gay ass puppet? It's like, oh, all right, there we go. He's a gay ass puppet.
Looks like a big multicolored sock with like a worm. He's almost like a worm.
Yeah. He's got a squeaky toy in his tongue too. So I don't know if he's supposed to be like a dog toy originally or something, but yeah, his tongue squeaks.
That's why he likes El Perro so much. Dave Bob has gifted a Loki's Morning Submission membership. Thank you, brother. Bad has gone to Pudgy the Hedgehog. If you guys haven't subscribed to Pudgy the Hedgehog, check him out. Absolutely wonderful stuff he does on X and the stories he does. Funny as hell. And Blood Guilty Gaming has thrown in an 11-month member chat, 300 watch hours, then it can apply for monetization. It's all about community. Dude, go and get it. Go and get it. Keep kicking ass. Keep taking names. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dave Bob. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Olds Gamer 72. This one is just for you guys if I can find it.
Skull and tuck and roll.
Skull and tuck and roll and release the Rohirrim. Looks like somebody forgot to tuck and roll.
I love how me and Loki both have personal clips for each other on our channels. Mine's Braveheart, where a guy gets tossed out the window.
Who is talking to me as if I requested their counsel?
I am trained in the arts of this and that. Oh, really? What do you think of this?
Have you know?
Skull and tuck and roll.
Oh, tuck and roll. Oh, shit.
So, and then to answer Zeropium's question a little bit ago, I seen it in the chat. Is there a certain puppet that I dreamt about doing but haven't done yet? Not like a certain character, but if I ever get big enough one day, I'll definitely invest more money into more professional puppets and better shows and just upgrade shit for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe give Jolly another facelift. I mean, Jolly's had a couple facelifts through the years. Like if you go back and watch the original shows, he was rough. That puppet, he looked 30 years old, when I first started, but now he's looking good. He's had a couple of good facelifts.
And good morning, Netter. How are you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day as well. Thank you so very much, and thank you for the member chat. Thank you. Where did the tuck and roll thing start?
Originally, I got to give credit to my sister. I went up to Seattle. This is back when we were riding the coattails of the Seahawks song when that went viral. So I was flying back and forth to Seattle almost every other weekend to do these. I used to do rallies, these charity events for Seattle's Children's Hospital, where we just raise a bunch of money for the kids. And so I just go up there. I mean, I got my tickets paid for and stuff by people, but I pretty much did the concerts for free, and I was hanging out with family, and I was right in the mix of making music at that point. And I had a few songs out, but that Go Hawks one was catching fire. And remember me and my sister were driving somewhere. I can't remember where we were driving, and me and her, we have very similar personalities. We get along great. We've got the same kind of sense of humor. And she said something, and we were talking about throwing somebody out the car while it was moving. And she's like, yeah, and I'll tell that motherfucker, tuck and roll, bitch, and I laughed so fucking hard when she said it. And we just started saying it after that to each other. At first it was, tuck and roll, bitch. And then we actually decided, when it became time to start working on a new song, get back in the studio and, make another song, I pulled my sister in, actually. So when you listen to the song, that's her, the female voice in that song. But yeah, we made a song about it, tuck and roll, right? And it became like my second most popular song besides the Seahawks song. That song has more clicks than any other song. So I just kind of rolled with it, literally, and ended up making my first major live show called the Tuck and Roll Show, which still goes to this day. We'll be doing season 6 this year. And I think when I started doing the Tuck and Roll Show, which is basically, a bunch of people come on. If you're cool, you get to stay. If you're not cool, you get tuck and rolled off the show. And yeah, that's gained popularity over the years and kind of made more awareness to what it was, the tuck and roll thing. And it's just evolved from there. So I love the fact that a song that I made, God, it's been 7-8 years ago now, is still relevant and is even gaining in popularity at this point, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah. Especially with the, tuck and roll, grandma, tuck and roll.
Yeah. It just works. And especially everybody's got a catchphrase. You got yours. Everybody's got a little something for their channel when they leave, light the fires and all that stuff. And that's mine, just tuck and roll, when we end the show and stuff. So, and it stuck. A lot of people say it now. It's great. Yeah.
Old Gamer 72 Cutlass has gifted another Loki's Mornings of Mischief membership, and that membership has gone to
Casper. G. Yeah.
What is up, Casper G? Thank you so very much again, Old Gamer 72 Cutlass, for keeping the fires burning bright. He has been killing it, ladies and gentlemen, each and every day. Thank you, my friend, so very much.
It's true. You guys are the ones that keeps us going,
And on, for some of us that stream almost, every day or 5 days a week or multiple times a week, you guys keep us alive. That is, I mean, you do. You keep us alive. You keep us doing what we're doing. The show is paid for by you guys.
Literally.
It's almost like our own public broadcasting.
Yep. Memberships really help. Super chats really help. But just liking and sharing is a big thing too. Just a quick click of the share to your social media accounts, can make a huge difference. Like that's been the great thing about my channel growth recently is, YouTube don't like a puppet. I cuss a lot. I hit on some very edgy stuff with booty breaks and what I talk about, all that. So I'm very anti YouTube as far as what they want to see. But because the people that love me and my content so much, they have helped me continue to grow literally organically. I've gotten probably half my subs recently just from the people that have found me showing other people. Like I've had multiple comments lately where they're like, yo, just showed this video to all my friends at work, or just showed this video to my cousin, or just, you know what I mean? That's the kind of stuff I love hearing about, because that's how I know we're literally growing in the underground, so to speak.
I'm sharing this with all my buds because you're a, hilarious son bitch.
Yeah.
American Patriots Pad says, I love y'all. Thank you for such great streams. Thank you for being here, dude. We can't do this. We can't do this without you.
That's all we want to do, guys. Most of us that come on and do this stuff is because we want to entertain. It's like Mexican Iron Man says. Some of us are built for it. It's in our blood to literally entertain. And then some of us are not. And Mike's not. He's one of those. Yeah, he's an entertaining guy and he's fun and he's awesome, but it's not his calling. It's not something he strives. It's not something that burns inside of him when he wakes up in the morning. Me and Loki are. We wake up like, I want to produce. I want to get on and create something, build something. it's in our bones, our DNA. You know, it's just how it is. So works. It's a great outlet.
It is. It is. And the interaction and, talking to people and explain, laying it all out on the table
Building the
and
community. Yeah.
building the community. Like I said from day one, I said, I didn't, stand up in public square and tell the town, you need to build this for me. I just started moving rocks and someone came along and said, what are you doing? Quit talking up Mexican Iron Man bitches.
He's not even around hardly anymore. Shub still hates him.
And I said, this is what I'm doing. And they offered to help. And I said, okay. And it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And some people didn't like that. And some people aren't going to like what you're doing, obviously, because they're already talking about it. And people there's some jealous little bitches around here. And you know what, sometimes I've got to question common sense. It's like when we're in the middle of dealing with the coof, which is what we all called the pandemic, because you couldn't say pandemic or COVID or any of that shit because they'd wipe you out. I remember some people going, we're going to go on and we're going to talk about this today. And I'd be like, you guys know that they're just going to pull your stream down. No, they won't. We're going to do this, this, and that. And then they'd get, hit and they'd get a strike or they'd get something and then bitch and moan and whine that something had happened. And I'm like, y'all knew what was going to happen because you know how they've treated everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know how they've done that. I have no sympathy for that. If you do something knowingly dumb on YouTube and then bitch that they did something about it, that's not YouTube attacking you. That's not YouTube singling you out. That's you doing something dumb and getting reprimanded for it that you knew they weren't going to be happy with.
Exactly.
That's has nothing to do with what happened to you this past Friday because it was something that you played for the last 4 years.
Yep. No, mine
never had a problem with it.
Yeah, mine was, I think, just because of the push on the channel that I've gotten, it's just brought more haters' eyes to me than I've had before. But I'm a black belt when it comes to that, guys. So back in 2009, 10, up till about 2016, Facebook was hot. That was like the place to be. It was, where everybody was congregating at. It's, so that's where my Seahawks song really went viral originally. And I got to fight with 49ers fans first, was like the big thing that I was fighting against on social media. They were coming in and attacking my song and hating me for it. And I even had Facebook profiles literally shut down. The one that they loved getting me for back then was I had a profile called Sno Dub. My real name wasn't on it. Oh, they came after me about that. I had to show ID to get my account back, and I wasn't allowed to use it. I cannot use the name Sno Dub. It's been banned on Facebook. They do not want that name on there. And so I was already well trained in fighting haterism. Plus, when I came out supporting Trump and half the freaking Seahawks fans, turned on me. Like I was already well trained in haterism and all that crap, even before I started my channel, and then I knew coming into this that I was going into a realm of YouTube talk that already had a nice hater base behind it because I was joining the Phantom Menace. I was jumping on with the High Council and world-class bullshitters, Ethan Van Sciver, Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, Gary Nerdrotics, all these guys. I knew I wanted to be in that group. I knew I could relate to these guys. So I knew right away
Dave
coming
Bob.
in. Yeah. Thanks for stopping by, Dave Bob. He threw me a membership last night too. So yeah, I had a black belt, as far as fighting haters. So coming into this, like, there's just nothing they could throw at me at this point that doesn't surprise me anymore.
Well, we dealt with and we're not going to get into this because God knows we've talked about it enough in the past. But we got into it with a certain ballsy little shit. I'll just say that. Back in the day, and it's one of the things we like bonded over. It was like you were. I got invited to the stream, and I look on there, and you're just getting into it with this guy, and I'm like, what the hell is this guy coming after Sno Dub for? So I pop in there and I go off, and Sno Dub's like, yeah, thanks for being here, Loki. And I'm like, yeah, no problem. And it was like after that, we started talking more and hanging out more, and through all that senseless HD drama.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's dead now, so we don't have to worry about him anymore.
Right now, some people are going, are they choking? We're not.
No.
The world actually did become a better place after all.
He literally died on my birthday, so there's that.
Tell us about, since we're not going to stay on that topic, God help me. Tell us about this guy, and tell us about Snags, and tell us about the crew. Tell us about Orange. Tell us about the Ironcaster. Tell us about Piper. Tell us about the crew. Tell us about Cotton.
Yeah. Well, it's been a little bit of a phenomenon. It originally started with me and the Frog, the Ribbit and Bigot show. I found him first, or we found each other, or however you want to look at it. And we hit it off right away. Perfect chemistry, perfect. We had the exact same mentality as far as what kind of humor we like. And he's planning to come back someday. Not full-time YouTuber again, but you may see him on a Cotton Council one of these nights. But so we originally started with that, and me and him came up with quote unquote the Cotton Connection. And when he kind of stopped doing YouTube and went his own way, and all that drama with Testify and all that crap, I was kind of on my own at that point. And I had a few puppets that would come around. Collie Hond was doing a puppet at the time. Another guy named TWTG Content was doing like this Reggie puppet, this Australian dude. He doesn't do it anymore now, but I was like, I'm going to keep pushing this thing, keep kind of going forward with it. And as time has progressed, I've found more puppets. I found more people that want to use puppets. Like Shellback's a great example. He was just trying to do the YouTube thing. Well, now he's more a puppeteer thing, even though he's got kind of the weakest puppet out of the bunch. But we still love him. He's got a low budget sock puppet, but literally. But he jumped right in, head first, and became part of the Cotton Council. And now he's a permanent member. Everybody loves Rudolph, and he's got his own personality. And I think I found Punkwaddle. I want to say I found Punkwaddle through Floral, I think, if I remember right. And the Floral I found through Tom, Midnight's Edge. Ironcaster. I knew about Ironcaster, but I hadn't really talked to him much. But he was kind of introduced through T-Shirt Historian. T-Shirt Historian also was another one that bought a really cheesy puppet and decided to start using it by the name of Bathmat.
I am the Lord of Darkness and Evil. And you're like, what in the shit is that?
Right. Snacks and Friends was a fan of the channel before he ever came on. And he built his own puppet, Gator. And just last night, actually, I was on his Nips and Nags show. And he found the original time he came on my show, which was Tuck and Roll Show episode 29. And we went back and watched it and seen the original shot of Gator and how much he's progressed over the years. And so it's just been from doing this for 6 years plus now. I've just acquired a group of awesome people that love to dabble in the puppeteering. And I'm just happen to be sitting right next to one right now that kind of did the same thing. Mr. Stone Cold Loki here decided one day he was going to drop the ball and throw some money in the bank and of the Cotton Connection and got himself a puppet, Mr. Chulo Monster.
Who's getting a redesign. Who's getting a complete redesign because he's going to be working in the corporate. He's going to be working for Trump for the next 4 years.
My Tuck and Roll co-host, Saggy Melons, aka Reality, she went out and bought a puppet. Sasha. Piper, we had one custom made for her from Floral.
Nice giggity.
she bought the original original Fizz gig from Dark Crystal, but it was getting worn out too quick, and so we got a custom one made for her. And then Mexican Iron Man even brought on this stupid little puppet for a while. What was her name? Rosarita or some shit. He only used her a couple times, but even he dabbled in it, you know. So everybody kind of like wanted to jump on the bandwagon there for a while. It stuck with some, not so much with others, but whatever.
And, I can't tell if you're being serious, Sham.
Oh shit!
You're serious. Wait, what? Chulo's Loki?
Yeah, we're breaking the fourth wall a little bit this morning. Gets a raspberry for the unfavorable Rudolph comment. We're just giving you a shit, sock. At least I didn't call you dickless like everybody else does.
or triple nut nose.
Right? Yeah. I don't clown them nearly as much as the rest of them do. I'm actually pretty nice to Rudolph.
We all kind of, and that's one of the things that goes on a lot. We all tease the shit out of each other.
That's part of the fun.
It's not in a bad way. You know, we all tease the shit out of each other and we have fun.
Yeah, we all gang up on each other at some point or another. I've been ganged up on by the rest of the puppets on a few occasions. It's just all part of the fun. It's all part of the banter. And we get to reach back a little bit to our childhood when we do those shows, you know. It's just a nice release, you know, and just kind of letting loose, having fun, kind of taking your brain out of the everyday adult life bullshit and just doing some stupid shit and laughing about it. It's great.
Pat S asks, what puppet is Ironcaster?
That would be Charlie B.
Charlie B.
He owns Le Puppet Hole.
I don't know if I want to go outside today.
Charlie B is quiet. He's kind of our quiet, sweet, nice puppet. He's a little oblivious, and he's really bad when it comes to El Perro because he thinks whatever El Perro says is the truth. So as soon as El Perro says something, like Charlie B's like, oh yeah, El Perro said so. It must be truth.
Must be true if El Perro.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. How did the evolution of the dog happen? Because we're gonna run out of time. We're almost at an hour.
Right.
Gotta know. Tell me how the evolution of this mean, evil dog that is obviously wants, you know, socialist regime, is a lover of come on. And such a bug up his ass about Mexican Iron Man.
Well, that all started. So El Perro, like I said, is my oldest puppet. I've had him forever. And he's been in the closet for years. You know, not literally like with being gay or whatever, but literally as a puppet in my closet in a box. But anyway, so I started out with Jolly, and as we were progressively getting along with the Ribbit and Bigot show, I felt like we needed a bad guy, you know, something to kind of shake things up on the show. And hence the bacon sandwich thing. That was all kind of the beginnings of El Perro. My thing with him was sabotaging shows. So I have a clip where he pops up on Drunk 3PO's show back in the day and kind of sabotages him.
I also see Last Jedi.
Yeah, he was all about pushing The Last Jedi. You know, how much he hated The Phantom Menace. He thinks Rian Johnson is a genius, Kathleen Kennedy. I was just trying to rub against the grain. And he just evolved into his own thing. Now with Mexican Iron Man and all that, what happened with that was there was a short time period in the beginning there, and he's done it a couple times now, but the very first time I did a video where I literally tied Jolly up to a chair and had El Perro beat the shit out of him on camera.
Yeah, and he kidnapped him. He kept him in a cage.
That was the second time. Yep. He tied him up the first time, cage the second time. Yeah, there's been a few different times. Well, that pissed Mexican Iron Man off because Mexican Iron Man, when he first started watching the channel, was a big Jolly fan, big supporter. And when he saw Jolly getting his ass kicked by El Perro, it pissed him off. And in turn, El Perro hated Mexican Iron Man. So that kind of started its own rivalry and has evolved ever since. Yeah.
Is El Perro ever going to get deported?
I don't know. I mean, we've had Mexican Iron Man literally beat the shit out of him on camera once.
Rip his eyeball out.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure what else we can do with this dog at this point.
And somebody taught the damn dog to count to 5, so he grew his eye back.
Keeps getting buried in the pet cemetery. But he's got his own diehard fan base now, El Perro. Like the anti-fan, so to speak, like Shum is one of them. But there's others. There's Lisa. There's Marcus. Cotton Ministries came around, started becoming an El Perro fan. Why, I don't know. He's supposed to be hated.
I'm an El Perro. I respect El Perro's ability to get heat.
Right.
That's the thing with me. I don't respect what he says.
Right.
I don't even respect what he does. But his ability to get heat makes me respect him.
And he's just relentless, just relentless.
He's a dog with a bone.
Yeah, you got to give him credit. He doesn't back down. He doesn't stop. He keeps coming. He literally is the Terminator of puppets.
He's not going to quit. He will not stop. You should.
He will.
I will not stop.
He will not quit till you are dead.
When will Mike Roach get his chance to use his browning lotion on Mexican Iron Man? Oh no.
Oh no. Well, Mike Roach recently tried to climb in to Mexican Iron Man's window, and Mexican Iron Man blasted him, I guess, with his salsa cannon blasters and burned his pox off his face. It kind of cured him in the process. So that was their last interaction. But Mike's been laying low on the YouTube sphere, so we don't get as much time to mess with him as we used to, which we miss him. We love doing it, but he's taking care of what he's got to do right now. So that's just kind of where it's at. So if he comes back around, starts being more of a presence again, we'll get back to those jokes for sure.
Zeropian asks, is there a topic you or the Cotton Connection will never touch, either by moral or YouTube obligation?
Yes, we will not ever, ever, ever go after kids. That is taboo. That is off limits. We don't joke about that shit. We are not a kid's show by any means. Now, I don't care if teenagers watch. If I was 13, 14, I would watch my show for sure. It may be a little taboo even at that age, but still, by the time you're 13, 14, you've probably seen some shit at that point. I know I had seen a couple Playboys and stuff at that point, so it's not like it's too bad. But yeah, that's just, we won't.
You
go
definitely
there.
Will see some women.
Yes, yes, we are very pro beautiful ladies. Very pro heterosexuality, toxic masculinity, whatever you want to call it.
None of them dangle ladies. If you dangle, then you ain't ladies.
Yeah, but no, we don't fuck around with kids. Like we don't even.
No horse.
That's right. We hate the horse. Yeah, but on a serious matter, we do not even go there. Like no jokes, no nothing like that. Don't even kid about it. Like I'll seriously go off on somebody, and my council members, they know. Everybody knows. You pretty much know if you've been doing YouTube anyway. That's just not something you do. But rightly so. Even though we're a puppet show, doesn't mean we're about the kids. Muppet Show was an adult show anyway. Yes, kids could come watch with their parents, but it was still an adult show.
Anything you want to promote? Anything you want to say before we get out of here? I want to thank you.
Yeah,
for being here and anything.
I love Wednesday shows, man. YouTube Talk's my favorite show of the week.
Yeah. It's my favorite show to do. No, nothing against anybody else. We've got Day Bob's here, Zero's here, Arwen's here. I love my other shows, but I always love getting to do YouTube Talk. There's just something special about Wednesdays. This used to be the Women in Fandom show for anybody who goes way, way back. It was just women in the fandom, because they kept saying girls aren't in this and you won't let them in this. And I'm like, dude, we got chicks here that have played D&D for like decades. We've got people here that have played video games. We've got people here that have how is this women haven't been allowed in this space? And look what they've done with it. Dude, You know what? You know what the difference between a men's women or a men's prison and a woman's prison is? Because I worked in prisons. A whole lot of tampons all over the place. That's the big difference between a men and women's prison.
Tampons in the boys' bathroom.
Tampons in the boys' bathroom.
Yeah.
You wanted it, you got it. Look what you did with it.
Yeah,
anything you want to throw out there before we get out of here?
Yes. So this, we got hump day tonight with Rudolph and Jolly, which, if you love booty breaks, come hang out with us. It's kind of our booty break show. Got our Friday night show, the FNF show, which usually leads into Loki's show, but I guess Loki won't be doing a show this weekend.
I'll be on the other side of Texas.
Yeah. But the must watch, you do not want to miss show this week will definitely be our Cotton Council. It's our annual Christmas special. And we got Santa Claus stopping by. And, of course, all the puppets. And possibly a special guest, Fleshy. That's pretty well known. And I haven't concrete landed them yet, but things are looking good. So let's just say you don't want to miss the Saturday night show. It should be one for the books. Sure. Jesus.
We're getting out of here, guys. Thank you, Sno Dub, for being here.
Yeah.
Thank you, all of you, for your comments, the watch, everything you guys do. You guys keep us alive. Be great. Be excellent to each other. Always speak friend and enter. And skull and tuck and roll.
Skull and tuck and roll.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.